Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Hello and welcome to the Splash Live and the MegaCast. I'm your host, Tyler Kieft, as I have been all week long, taking you through the latest news, updates, events, and other information from all throughout the Greater West Bloomfield area and all across Oakland County. There are plenty of places you can find us all throughout the Oakland County area for the Splash Live. As always, you can find us on your local cable stations. On Comcast, it's channel 15, and on AT&T, that is channel 99. You can also find us, however, on the web on civiccentertv.com. That's the place where you'll find us on demand. You'll find us live every single day for this program, for the MegaCast, for municipal meetings in West Bloomfield Township, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and the West Bloomfield School District, as well as the Oakland County Board of Commissioners. You can watch us live Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 11 o'clock for 90 minutes of news on civiccentertv.com. Other places you can watch us live Monday through Friday are on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15. Find us on facebook.com/CivicCenterTV15. Like us, follow us, and come back each and every day to watch our programming live on our Facebook page for our 90 minutes of news and other programming as well, like those meetings, like the Michigan Week Community Awards breakfast that you'll see on Friday morning. That'll all be on our Facebook page. It will also be on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. So go to YouTube, search Greater West Bloomfield Civic Center TV, and you'll find our page there with all of our videos archived immediately after the show. So whether you're watching us live or you have to skip out for a little bit during this 9:30 to 11 o'clock period that we're live Monday through Friday, you can always come back and see us wherever you left off on YouTube by going to our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. And you can also find us, of course, on the radio all throughout the Greater West Bloomfield area and across the Lakes area on 89.3 Lakes FM, which you can live stream as well online on lakesfm.com. Those are just some of the many places you can find us. CivicCenterTV.com/megacast is another great resource to go for all of our partnering stations all throughout the Oakland County area that join us every single day on the Splash Live and on the MegaCast, 9:30 a.m. to 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday, every single week. 90 minutes of news in your hometown, in the Greater West Bloomfield area, and all throughout Oakland County on our programming. Let's take a look at the weather throughout the rest of this week. Today on Hump Day, mostly sunny skies and temperatures reaching highs of 77 degrees in the Greater West Bloomfield area, plus a light breeze south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, much of the same, a nice night as well here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Sunshine until about 8:43 p.m. when the sun will set tonight with a light breeze and a low of 52. That continues on tomorrow, Thursday, the warmest day of your work week at 81 degrees. Now the forecast, previously it was 80. It's gone up a degree over the last updates over the last 24 hours. That's the daytime high with plenty of sunshine, so you can take some time outdoors during your workday. Take a break, go outside, sit on a bench, enjoy the great outdoors, go for a little bit of a walk as you're out and about doing whatever it is you're doing each and every day. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and the sunset a minute later than it will be tonight, 8:44 p.m., just in time to get home from a light walk and then call it a night as you get ready for Friday. Nighttime temperatures on Thursday in the high 50s, topping out around 57 in Greater West Bloomfield with partly cloudy skies, but no precipitation expected on Thursday at this time. That all changes on Friday, however. Similar temperatures topping out at about 77 degrees, but not as much sunshine. Rain, however, is in the forecast for Friday, with now a 48% chance of rain during the day. That is covering 7% more of our local area than was the forecast yesterday when it was at 41%. So now nearly half of our local area here in the Greater West Bloomfield community expected to see some rain on Friday. That will continue on at night as more of our local area is going to see rain. About 58% now expected to see rain on Friday night in Greater West Bloomfield. A low of 57 degrees with winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Over the weekend, a little bit nicer, partly cloudy on Saturday and 75 degrees with a 15% chance of rain during the day. Sunset is expected at 8:46 p.m. and the nighttime forecast shows 49 degrees. So a nice cooler night, a little bit of a breeze with the weather pattern coming in across your Saturday, a bit windy, northeast winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour during the day and in the evening. So perhaps you'll open up a window at night and enjoy a little bit of that cool breeze coming in from outside as you sleep on Saturday night. A similar forecast for Sunday, but cooler. 65 is your daytime high for Sunday, just as windy as Saturday. So perhaps it'll feel a little bit cooler than that very temperate 65-degree forecast. Maybe it'll feel a little bit closer to the lower 60s or high 50s. So you might want to bring maybe a light jacket, a windbreaker with you, or possibly a sweater if you're going to venture outdoors during the day or in the evening. Sunday night low of 43 degrees and the chance of rain slightly higher than during the day, with an expectation of about 21% of our local area seeing precipitation on Sunday evening. Now let's take a look at what's going on around town in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Some good news right next door to us at Civic Center TV. Not next door to me. I'm on the other side of Oakland County, but for our friends at our main office at Green Media Center. The West Bloomfield School District announced yesterday longtime West Bloomfield educator Blaine McDowell, who has been recently the Dean of Students at West Bloomfield Middle School, will become the new principal at Chico Elementary, a place that she has taught for many years before taking over her current position at the middle school. Blaine is described by the school district in their Facebook post announcing her new position, quote, "She is an outstanding educator who is dedicated to creating a positive and inclusive learning environment for all students. Her passion for education, strong communication skills, and collaborative approach will be invaluable as she leads our Chico school community." So congratulations to Blaine, and a big thank you as well once again to Kathy Chico, the namesake of Chico Elementary School, for taking over as principal as they were in a transition period between principals once again over the past year or so at Chico Elementary. A new chief in town now, Blaine McDowell, taking over as principal at Chico Elementary School. So a big news there in Sharks Nation at Chico Elementary. In Keego Harbor, something you can get involved in, Jan's Flowers. In Keego Harbor, Jan's Flower Shop just unveiled a new member of their team. Let's take a look at that. The new member of their team is a giraffe. You can see on the screen if you're watching on our TV broadcasts or if you're watching on our web streams. They need a name for that giraffe. That is where you come in. So here's what they had to say in their Facebook post. They said, quote, "We can't agree on a name, so we figured we'd let our customers do it. When you come in at the counter, we'll give you a piece of paper. Write your name, your number, and your idea for the giraffe's name on it. We'll put it in a pot. We'll draw the name on Memorial Day at 12 noon. We'll then call the winner when we pick a name, random draw style." So not going to pick their favorite name. They're going to pick by random draw. You just need to have your name on the paper, submit it in person, and the person whose name gets picked also comes away with some winnings. They'll get a hanging basket of flowers for their submission. So go into Keego Harbor and head over to Jan's Flowers, and while you're doing some flower shopping, maybe help them name their new mascot, their giraffe, over there. And so great opportunity for you to get involved in the community, maybe even make some history, as that's going to be something that people are going to look out for kind of as a landmark, I'd imagine, as they're going around the bend on Orchard Lake Road in Keego Harbor toward Cass Lake and see the giraffe on the right side of the road. And maybe perhaps the name you come up with will be the name of the giraffe. Now, before the internet does it, I'd like to submit my idea for the name of the giraffe. May I suggest Giraffe McGiraffe Face, perhaps? Someone's going to do it at some point, so I'm going to put that in first, just in case that does become the name. Then we can take credit here at Civic Center TV and on the Splash Live and truly say you heard it here first. Giraffe McGiraffe Face is my idea. Don't even get me started. I'm full of way worse ideas than that across the board, whether it's naming a giraffe or any other idea you may have. Just ask anybody that talks to me on a regular basis. I'm full of terrible ideas. Some people who are full of good ideas, however, are at West Bloomfield High School. They're DECA students. Again, some brilliant students in our local area in the Greater West Bloomfield community. A special honor for their DECA students on Monday as State Representative Noah Arbit, a Democrat from our 20th district here in the Lakes area, Join DECA educator Julie Zala and the West Bloomfield School District Superintendent Dr. Danya Bazzi at West Bloomfield High School to honor their in-school store, Laker Landing, for achieving its gold level certification. According to the school district via Facebook, quote, the DECA members who contributed to the certification were Joey Kosh, Justin Edelheit, Aubrey Thurman, with the assistance of their DECA chapter advisors, Julie Zala, Lisa Salem, Lori Cairns, and Laura Woke. Representative Arbit awarded each of them a State of Michigan tribute and provided one to the store as well. Representative Arbit also recognized the West Bloomfield High School figure skating team for their state championship. Student and figure skater Emma Y. Bell accepted the tribute for the team, and close quote. Congratulations to all of them. We'll skip forward a little bit. Of course, the Oakland County Farmers Market is open. It's not open today. It'll be open again on Thursday, so we'll skip over that just for a little inside splash/megacast with us here and go on to what's going on tonight at the Sylvan Lake Community Center, 6 o'clock. It's their final Wednesday night yoga of the month of May. Join them there, 6 o'clock at the Community Center. It'll be in the small room to the left as you enter, and right before their city council meeting, a big meeting tonight. They're doing their budget hearing, so you'll hear about all that's going on in the budget for next year in Sylvan Lake at 7:30. But before that, enjoy some yoga at 6 o'clock, and then they're back most Wednesdays going forward in June. They'll be in process June 7th, June 21st, and June 28th. Mark your calendars for 6:30 p.m. to join the crew over in Sylvan Lake for Wednesday night yoga. If you're not able to attend tonight, you'll be able to keep your Zen throughout the month of June on the 7th, the 21st, and the 28th, and maybe even practice a little bit of your yoga in between so you get better as the month goes on. Another opportunity for you is to become a storm spotter with the National Weather Service and Oakland County Emergency Management tomorrow, Thursday, 7 o'clock at the Waterford Oaks Activity Center off of Watkins Lake Road in Waterford. You can learn to be a Skywarn storm spotter for free. According to the Oakland County government's Emergency Management Department's website, quote, Skywarn is an effort to save lives during severe weather emergencies by expanding networks of spotters by encouraging the widest possible participation in tornado warning programs. There is no way to stop tornadoes, and not all tornadoes show up on the radar, but they can be seen, lives can be saved, and there's only one instrument that can detect a tornado or a funnel cloud with complete certainty, and that is the human eye. So you can use yours for good in our local community. All are encouraged to attend this free training at 7 o'clock at the Waterford Oaks Activity Center. But if you can't attend, there is a link to do the training online. Learn more by going to oakgov.com/community and navigating over to the Emergency Management Department's website. Plenty of more things going on all across our local area this week. Tonight, we'll have also the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Youth Recognition Awards at 7 o'clock at the new West Bloomfield Middle School. We'll have that production for you on Civic Center TV later on this week as we recognize our youth and teen volunteers doing great things in our community. But Friday morning, we'll be recognizing volunteers all throughout the Greater West Bloomfield community, the 4 communities, and even surrounding areas such as the Walled Lake School District, the Bloomfield Hills School District, and more. People making impacts all throughout our community. 7 o'clock a.m. It's the 51st Annual Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast live from Temple, Israel. You'll be able to see the whole broadcast right here on Civic Center TV, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. That's all happening on Friday at 7 o'clock a.m. It'll be broadcast live on Civic Center TV, on our website on civiccentertv.com, and rebroadcast all throughout the afternoon. Finally, plenty of more opportunities for you to make your mark coming up as a volunteer. If you want to take some inspiration from these kids and from these other great volunteers all throughout our local area this week. Plenty of more opportunities coming up at the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Food Truck Rally. That's happening on June 10th at 11:30 a.m. until 9 p.m. at the Orchard Mall. Learn how you can get involved and volunteer your time, your expertise, and your energy into a really fun event by visiting wbyouthassistance.org/food-truck-rally. Or just go to wbyouthassistance.org. They'll have a link to the food truck rally, and you'll be able to learn more information about what you need to do to sign up and be a volunteer for this event June 10th, 11:30 a.m. at the Orchard Mall, just off of Orchard Lake Road before 15 Mile in West Bloomfield Township. We'll take a break here on the MegaCast. After this short break, we'll talk about the native plant sale coming up not this weekend, but the weekend after that at the Recreation Activity Center, as well as our local native plant life. Why is it so important for you to focus on native plantings in your yard, in your garden, right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Lauren Azoury, the West Bloomfield Parks Naturalist Supervisor, will join us next after this quick break. You're watching and listening to The Splash Live and the MegaCast.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
The West Bloomfield Youth Assistants will be recognizing local youth for their volunteer service, personal growth, and leadership. Join us as schools, hospitals, and religious organizations nominate the up-and-comers in your community. Show your pride for our future. The Youth Recognition Awards, May 10th at 6 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Middle School. This community update from Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Hello, nose. My nose knows is when somebody uses the bathroom. Mom, Polly didn't flush. Ooh, I smell cookies.
I smell an A+.
How could my nose be running when it stays on my face?
Our noses know if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So swab it. Test it. It's good to know.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live and the MegaCast, our 90 minutes of news coverage here in our local area in the Greater West Bloomfield community and throughout Oakland County. I'm your host, Tyler Kieft, and we got plenty of great events coming up over the next couple weeks. Of course, Michigan Week on Friday this week, but also plenty going on with the West Bloomfield Parks as they have their community garage sale coming up, and then it's their native plant sale happening on May 20th at the Recreation Activity Center. But you can get in on the action beforehand, beginning this week, Sunday, May 14th, as their window for pre-orders begins this weekend and runs through the middle portion of next week. Joining us now on the program to talk about the native plant sale is the Parks Naturalist Supervisor for West Bloomfield Parks, Lauren Azoury. Lauren, thanks for being with us.
Hi, Taylor. Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this because it's a fun event. People love to go and get some of these native plants to put into their garden or to decorate their homes with this time of the year. But it also goes well beyond that. It has a big impact too on the ecology in our local area to actually use these native plants in addition to or even instead of some other plants that may be favorites for people all across our community. So let's start with that. In terms of using native plants, just how big of an impact can that have using those in your garden right here in our local area?
Yeah, the native plants are much more of an ecological value. So they support our wildlife, they provide shelter and food and nectar sources for our pollinators. So I know pollinators is a big buzzword now. Hopefully everybody knows what that means. And if you don't, they're really important to our world. 1 of every 3 bites of your food is made by a pollinator. So a bee or a butterfly, a hummingbird, those kinds of species, and native plants support those species. Ecology is a full circle. It's all those important things connected. And when you purchase plants from a regular, box store, like a greenhouse kind of store, those are not native. They weren't evolved along with the animals that live here in Michigan. And when I mean evolved, I mean hundreds of years. It takes a lot of time for animals to evolve with the plant to work together. And so native plants make that connection. It helps our wildlife. It provides habitat for them and provides nectar for them. And so native is really the best way to go because of what it does for our environment, but also attracts great things to your yard. So if you want to see pretty butterflies, native's the way to go as well.
And especially with the interest that's grown in gardening over the last several years, whether people are going to community gardens like West Bloomfield Parks participates in, as well as just their gardens at home. Those native plants can also have a big impact on helping you grow some of those other plants too.
True. Companion planting is a really fun thing to try out. So if you are a vegetable gardener and you're looking into going into native plants as well, they work hand in hand. So if you bring native plants into your vegetable garden, it brings the butterflies and the bees, which helps your crops to grow more. So we've noticed, even by bringing our beehives to our community garden, that our gardeners have said that they've had better crops. They've had more production in their fruits and veggies that they're growing. So you don't have to put your veggie garden, across the way and your native plant garden over the other way. Like, it doesn't have to be separate. You don't have to be a purist if you're just starting out. Don't be intimidated. Native plants can grow with non-natives or exotics. They can also grow with vegetables.
You can find more information on the native plant sale by visiting wbparks.org/events. So go to their event calendar and click on native plant sale to learn more information. The window to purchase the native plants that you'll pick up on May 20th at the Marshbank Park will be on May 14th, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. May 14th through the 18th. So that's Sunday through Thursday. You'll be able to purchase those plants online through Plants for Ecology, and a portion of those proceeds go toward the Nature Room and supporting services and educational services in the Nature Room at West Bloomfield Parks. As you can see the website if you're watching us today on the web, and if not, you can go to civiccentertv.com and find us on demand there as well. The event May 20th, 9 to noon, pickup at Marshbank Park, but 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can order those plants online from May 14th to May 18th. It's Sunday through Thursday. So going back to the native plants, Lauren, what are some examples of native plants for those that maybe are looking to purchase some this weekend and may want to go through the catalog of some of what's available, but also those that maybe are considering starting a garden and starting that with those native plants?
Yeah, there's so many out there, and there's a bunch for shade gardens, for prairie, sun gardens. So definitely know your space, like know if you're going to need a shade plant or a sun plant, a dry area or wet area. And on the plantsforecology.com website, there are species profiles, like a page for each plant that we have available. And you can do a little bit of research ahead of time before you go on to buy, if you're looking to find out what's best for your spot that you're hoping to plant for. But one thing I want to hopefully expand people's idea of native plants is there are a ton that have beautiful flowers that provide great nectar, like bee balm and black-eyed Susan. But also think about those trees and shrubs. So an oak tree, a native oak tree, can support more life forms than any other tree in the whole country. So planting an oak has a huge ecological impact. So not just flowers, we have trees and shrubs as well. A serviceberry is a great shrub to put in too. So think about just beyond flowers and think about some of those trees and shrubs and grasses that are native that also support our wildlife too. Of course, milkweed is always super popular, so people always ask about that. We do have a variety of milkweed, but it's really important to plant for pollinators and again, that whole ecological circle, think full circle. Milkweed's a great plant for monarchs, but they also need other nectar sources throughout the whole season. So think about some flowers that you can plant in the spring blooming, but then think about the flowers that bloom later in the fall. So those asters and goldenrods that will produce a bloom and provide nectar in the fall when all the other flowers are starting to die off. So, think big circle, think beyond the regular flowers. My favorite flower personally is cardinal flower and turtlehead, but those are, again, beautiful and showy. But think about some of those other plants and shrubs and grasses. Blue-eyed grass is a really great one. It provides these little tiny purple flowers, but it also fills a nice big space as well and provides shelter for lots of wildlife. So not just thinking about the typical native plants and flowers that you might see. Those are wonderful as well, but we have a variety of trees and shrubs too.
We're joined by Lauren Azoury, the West Bloomfield Parks Naturalist Supervisor, on today's edition of the MegaCast. Their native plant sale, the pickup will be on May 20th, 9 a.m. to noon at Marshbank Park. You got to pre-order these plants, however, online May 14th through the 18th. That's Sunday through Thursday, and you can do that through Plants for Ecology. A link is on the WB Parks website. 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. is your window on May 14th through May 18th to make those purchases. wbparks.org/events. You scroll down to the May 20th native plant sale event to learn more information, including the website for Plants for Ecology, in order to purchase these flowers. You can also go straight to plantsforecology.com, and there is more information on the West Bloomfield online sale happening again May 14th through May 18th. That's Sunday of this week through Thursday of next week from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. And all these proceeds are going toward, of course, Plants for Ecology, but also a portion going towards supporting the Nature Room and the educational missions that happen there. It's one of my favorite places to go in the Greater West Bloomfield area to get really interesting stories and information on the earth and the environment in our local area. So tell us a little bit more about the Nature Room and just how much education does happen in that room for kids and for families in the Greater West Bloomfield communities.
Yeah, it's really great. It's a really great space. We have lots of visitors. Sometimes we have nature open hours. So that's the time when the nature room in our outdoor natural play area is open to the public to come and visit and explore. We always have a naturalist on hand. There are live animals there as well. We have native animals there, reptiles and amphibians. So our box turtles, super popular and famous around here. It helps us teach about native species and their importance to the environment. And we have a tree frog and a toad and lots of great creatures that help us teach about the importance of nature and just expose kids to and families to things that they might not get to see normally, and help them to appreciate the earth, and then hopefully along with appreciating it, they want to do things to care for it, like plant native plants. So we do a lot of programming inside the nature room, but we also utilize many of the trails and preserves. Like right now, our staff is out there today pulling garlic mustard. So you got to get rid of those invasive species before you can add and plant the natives. So if you're thinking about gardening, check your garden beds for the stuff we don't want, get rid of it first, and then add in the good stuff. So yeah, the nature room is a great place to visit, but we also utilize a lot of our trail systems and our nature preserve to teach in as well.
And all those require some funding in order to provide more of those resources, more of those touch points and those visual points too, like having those live animals in there that of course take care and staffing in order to maintain in the nature room at the Recreation Activity Center. So this is a great way to go ahead and support those efforts that are really very extensive and all throughout the year at the nature room at the West Bloomfield Parks Recreation Activity Center. You can do that through the native plant sale. Again, the pre-order window is May 14th through 18th from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. You'll pick that up then, those plants, from 9 a.m. to noon next week Saturday, not this Saturday, the Saturday after, at Marshbank Park. More information can be found on wbparks.org/events by just scrolling down to that May 20th native plant sale event to learn more. Lauren, anything else for us on this event or the way that it supports West Bloomfield Parks and its efforts?
Well, it's a win-win because like you said, we do get some of the proceeds from the sales, but we're also really hoping that really it's, it spreads the word on why it's important to use true native species from a native grower. We've worked with Plants for Ecology for many years now, and they do a really, really great job providing some really unique species that you can't find in your typical places. And so we're really appreciative of that. And I would also say, if you're an early riser, definitely hop on right away that first day, because some species do sell out fast. So at that 7 a.m. mark, we do have people that just hop right on at 7 a.m. and they know exactly what they want to get and they're able to grab it. So if there's a certain species that you're really hoping for, definitely online order early on that May 14th day. And then if you need help, if you're, some of my suggestions don't work in your garden, some of my favorite species I mentioned today, if you go to plantsforecology.com, you can contact Brendan, who's our native grower there, and he's great at making suggestions for what you need. So if you're looking for specific suggestions for your area, you're welcome to reach out. But also part of the fun of gardening is kind of messing up and fixing it and doing it again and learning from it. And so we really encourage you to try things you might not normally try, buy in 3s or 4s so that you can have a group of them together and they can spread and fill your space eventually. And if you're looking for low maintenance gardening, if you're new to gardening and you think that native plants are intimidating, I promise you they're not. it's actually a benefit. So native plants, because they're from our area and they're used to our environment, they require no fertilizer, no pesticides. They're used to our space here. So after the first few years, after they get established, they don't require a lot of watering. And so in general, native plants can be good and easier for people to garden with. So I really encourage you, if you haven't been a gardener and you're looking into it, that native plants is a great place to start.
Lauren, thank you so much for joining us and telling us about this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And hopefully everyone has a great time gardening. It is the season.
wbparks.org/events, the place to go to learn more about the native plant sale. Pre-orders open up Sunday, May 14th at 7 a.m. and run through next Thursday, the 18th at 5 p.m. wbparks.org. We'll take a break here on the Splash Live and the MegaCast on the other side. Plenty making headlines all throughout Oakland County, including some of our local students heading to the U.S. Service Academy. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to the Splash Live and the MegaCast.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
The West Bloomfield Youth Assistants will be recognizing local youth for their volunteer service, personal growth, and leadership. Join us as schools, hospitals, and religious organizations nominate the up-and-comers in your community. Show your pride for our future. The Youth Recognition Awards, May 10th at 6 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Middle School. This community update from Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Hello, nose. My nose knows is when somebody uses the bathroom. Mom, Pauline didn't flush. Ooh, I smell cookies.
I smell an A+.
How could my nose be running when it stays on my face?
Our noses know if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So swab it. Test it. It's good to know.
Welcome back to the MegaCast. I'm your host, Tyler Kieft. You can always join us on civiccentertv.com for more information and to find all of our partnering stations online. civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find us on demand. If you're not able to join us Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for our regular shows, it's always on demand on our YouTube page on civiccentertv.com and throughout our network as well. civiccentertv.com/megacast, the place to find more information on that side of things if you're not able to join us every single day for our live show. Also, a great place to go is our local news page on civiccentertv.com, where there's plenty making news across the Oakland County area and throughout the state of Michigan today. Our top story comes from Matthew Farr at the Oakland Press. U.S. Representative Elissa Slotkin from Michigan's 7th District nowadays has nominated 9 future cadets to the U.S. Service Academy, 5 of which are from part of her former district here in Oakland County, which was previously the 8th District. They were nominated before redistricting went into effect. That's why Representative Slotkin, who now represents more of the mid-Michigan and Lansing area, was the U.S. representative who has nominated these individuals for the service academies. Each congressperson at the U.S. level may nominate up to 10 candidates per year from their constituency. This year, the 5 from our local area are as follows. Lillian Atama, a U.S. Air Force Academy cadet coming up from South Lyon High School. She'll be going into the U.S. Air Force Academy. Heading to the U.S. Navy Academy is Jared Seifer from Oxford High School, alongside Brianna Johnston, who will also be going to the U.S. Naval Academy from the Oakland International Academy in Lake Orion. In addition, heading to the U.S. Air Force Academy is Vlad Lovin from Culver Military Academy and Rochester Adams High School. In addition, others being nominated: Mackenzie Aris going to the U.S. Air Force Academy and the Georgia Military College from Clarkston High School. And in addition to that, both Aris, Johnston, and Cipher were also nominated, in addition to Representative Slotkin, by U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow in January of 2023. Among her final nominations for the service academies in her long tenure as one of our state's 2 U.S. senators. Congratulations to these exceptional students who are preparing to serve our nation in a variety of U.S. military academies, from the U.S. Air Force to the Marines and beyond. Going into the Air Force, the Navy, and other service academies, not just from Oakland County, but all across the state of Michigan. A number of people being nominated recently and heading to those service academies once they graduate from high school here in the next few weeks. Congratulations to all of them. Also making headlines today on our local news page on civiccentertv.com from Bridge, Michigan's Robin Erb. After the president's declaration a few months ago about the end of the COVID-19 pandemic public emergency in the U.S. across the board at the federal level, the official end to the public health emergency here in Michigan is set to happen tomorrow on Thursday. This ends over 3 years that began with 2 weeks to flatten the curve, featured shutdowns of industries, labeling certain industries and certain jobs essential versus non-essential, as well as both economic and, most devastatingly, human losses that continue to this day. Among the implications of the public health emergency's end will be that insurers will no longer be required to cover over-the-counter COVID-19 testing for their clients, nor cover the entirety of doctor-ordered COVID-19 testing. And in addition, the tracking of COVID-19 metrics from local agencies and from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, those may continue, but they won't be nearly as extensive or specific as they have been over the last several years during the bulk of the COVID-19 pandemic. And yet, the legacy of this global emergency that also had, of course, local and statewide implications will live on. Some of our friends, family, colleagues, and neighbors will hold COVID-19 in form of long COVID. Others with the tragic loss of loved ones, and others simply in the rear view of a mirror of horror, watching the world suffer through an historic struggle. COVID-19's health emergency in the state of Michigan may be over, but COVID-19 will forever be a part of Michigan. That full article from Robin Erb examining some of the many different ways that the end of this public health emergency in the state of Michigan will impact us here in Oakland County and across the state on the COVID-19 front. Of course, COVID-19 is still out there, much like the seasonal flu. It's something that's going to be on people's minds and on public health officers' minds for years to come. And we all know now the simple ways that we can help prevent the spread of COVID-19, much like the flu or other respiratory diseases. Masking if you're not feeling well, physical distancing if you're not feeling well, staying home if you're not feeling well and you're feeling some of those symptoms that have become synonymous with COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses. Keeping those in mind is going to be paramount as we go forward, especially now when there's not as much of an emphasis from the public health community on COVID-19, particularly from the statewide level, as the end of the public health emergency is set for Thursday of this week, and it will have plenty of implications. Robin Erb from Bridge, Michigan went into greater detail. You can find that full article, a link to that full article at least, on our website on civiccentertv.com. Just click on our local news page and click on that headline from Bridge, Michigan. That'll be second down the line from today's episode of the MegaCast. Finally, a story we did not have time for earlier on in the week, but will certainly come as good news to drivers in our local area, from Frank Witzel at the Detroit Free Press. Gas prices are down and may continue to go down. Well, the prices fell 11 cents from 1 week ago, now standing at about $3.38 per gallon for regular unleaded gasoline. That is well below the national average price of $3.54 per gallon. In Metro Detroit, our current average is just a little bit above the statewide average at $3.39 per gallon. That's about 9 cents less than it was a week ago. So a good trend at this time for gas prices here in the state of Michigan. The most expensive gas in Michigan, you might have to do a little bit of traveling out and about to save some money at the pump in Traverse City, where currently the average price is $3.65 per gallon. A little bit less in Marquette as you go even further north at $3.52 per gallon. And the most expensive gas in our local area here in southeastern Michigan will be in Ann Arbor, $3.47 per gallon. The least expensive gas all across the state of Michigan actually is not in the Metro Detroit area. That's been something we've seen typically over the last several months as we have discussed some of these stories about gas prices going lower or even being higher. Typically, Metro Detroit's been among the least expensive gas prices across the state. Not the case this time around. Grand Rapids, the lowest prices in the state, alongside Flint, both at $3.33 per gallon. Benton Harbor next down the line at $3.35 a gallon. And again, here in the Metro Detroit area, our current average gas price is $3.39 per gallon, down from $3.48 a gallon just a week ago. Plenty of more information on this trend right now in our gas prices, expected to continue to go down in the near future. So whether you're deciding to fill up this week and go back to full, or you're in need of some gasoline, it's a good time to go to the gas pump and fill up your vehicle if you need to do so. And if you don't need to this week, waiting around for next week may not be the worst idea, as prices are expected to continue to fall. Of course, that's not guaranteed. Something can happen between now and then that could cause gas prices to go up. Perhaps a trash can fire in an office in Secaucus may end up raising the prices a few cents here or there. That sort of stuff could happen. But if that does not occur, if barring something drastic happening that could impact these prices, the current trends from experts looking into this issue are expecting gas prices to continue to go down as they have over the last week. Again, falling 11 cents from a week ago, the statewide average, and in our local area, 9 cents per gallon less than a week ago. All these articles are on our website on civiccentertv.com. Just go to our local news page. In addition, we still have public health information linked to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services at the statewide level, federally from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and locally from the Oakland County Health Division. That will take you to the COVID-19 web pages, of course, after tomorrow. Maybe not as much specific information on COVID-19 continuing, but it's a good place to start to get to those web pages for these reputable sources on a number of public health issues, to continue to research different issues of public health and keep yourself up to date as well on what's going on in our local area here in Oakland County, statewide from the MDHHS, and what the federal government is also looking at on the public health front from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, otherwise known as the CDC. That's also where you're going to find all of our headlines throughout the week, not just the news today, but yesterday and Monday as well. And you'll find our top stories on Thursday as well. Programming note, again, Friday morning we'll be live at the Michigan Week Community Awards breakfast at 7 a.m. and that will replay throughout the morning and the afternoons and evenings across Civic Center TV and on our website as well. However, we will not be doing our live shows on Friday morning as a result of that. So if you're looking for our programming on Friday, you're unfortunately not going to find us live, but you will find the Michigan Week Community Awards breakfast live, and that's going to highlight so many volunteers in our local area. I highly encourage you to stay tuned to Civic Center TV on Friday morning. 7 o'clock sharp is when that awards ceremony will begin, highlighting our volunteers in the 4 communities from our flagship at Civic Center TV, as well as some of the other communities nearby in Bloomfield Hills, in Birmingham, in Walled Lake, and so on. That is going to do it for today's edition of the MegaCast. Big thank you to Lauren Azoury from West Bloomfield Parks for joining us, as well as you for joining us, as well as I welcome you once again into my home today for our program. We'll be back for one more live show this week, Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m., and we'll be on until 11 o'clock with news in the Greater West Bloomfield area and throughout Oakland County. For our entire crew, I'm Tyler Kieft. Until next time, take care of each other, and we'll see you very soon.